Welcome students. Today we'll start. So here we have the formula that horizontal seismic coefficient AH, right? So here for this formula we have Z by 2 SA by G and whole to the divided by R by R I. That we can write it as AH equal to Z by 2 I by R and SA by G, right? So here for this, and this is a part of the formulas. That is what we need to compute design horizontal force, that is denoted with VB, right? This VB is equal to AH into W. This is capital W. This W is nothing but seismic weight of the building. You need to compute the total weight of the structure, and then we have to multiply this value W with AH, that is horizontal seismic coefficient, and this AH can be calculated using Z by 2 I by R and SA by G. Let us know what is Z, what is I, and what is R, and what is SA by G, and what all the factors are depending on this content. Before going to know this, what is design lateral force or equivalent static force method, we may have to know some recommendations or some conditions. That is what considered in the equivalent static force method for the structures. So here in this equivalent lateral force method for the earthquake force calculations, the structure is assumed to be rigid. The structure is assumed to be rigid, and it is completely fixity between structure and to the foundation, and we don't have any connection or any flexibility between foundation and to the superstructure. Here we have complete rigid connection between superstructure and foundation, and this equivalent static force method assumes that the structure is rigid. Again, the structure is having rigid connection between foundation and superstructure. Similarly, we have considered that the structure is regular in the sense we don't have any shapes. Let us have, and this is considered to be regular. We have the same dimensions on either sides, on opposite sides, and this is considered to be regular. And this structure, this shape may be considered irregular, like this. It is considered to be irregular. Regular in the sense it should give a mirror image. That is what we are expecting, or we are assuming in this equivalent lateral force method. That is the thing, but we have some other assumptions, some other main assumptions that is considered in the equivalent static force method. Based on these assumptions, we are going to calculate the total lateral force based on the recommendations provided in 1893 part 1 2016. Right here we know that AH equal to Z by 2 I by R and SA by G. The code given with Z is nothing but seismic zone factor. We have already known that seismic zone factor in our country is divided with 4 numbers: zone number 2, zone number 3, zone number 4, and zone number 5. Right here, and again I. In this formula, I is the importance factor that is given for the structure. That is 1.5 for critical and lifeline structures, 1.2 for business continuity structures, and 1 for the remaining structures which is not listed for in the A and B. And again we have already discussed these importance factors to the structures, right? Let us see once again in the page number 19. Page number 19 we have importance factor table number 8. In this table, the different types of structures are named to the value, which factor value has to be adapted to the structure. If you consider the structures, for example, government buildings, schools, right, hospital buildings, telephone exchange buildings, television stations, if you are considering these type of structures, in this case you may have to consider this I as 1.5. This I as 1.5. Similarly, remaining structures, residential or commercial buildings other than which are not listed in the 1, that is case 1, we may have to consider the importance factor as 1.2. Similarly, the structures which are not considered in case number 1 and case number 2, in that case we have to consider the importance factor as 1 in the I, right? So here Z is the zone factor and I is the importance factor. Right here Z is the zone factor and zone factor values are given here. Z is the zone factor value given here in the page number 10. If you are considering or if you are calculating the force to the structure which is located in zone 2 or zone 3 or zone 4 or zone 5, with respect to the zone values, we may have to consider the factors. For zone 2, we have the zone factor as 0.1, and for zone 3, we have zone factor as 0.16. Similarly, for zone 4 and zone 5, the respective values may be substituted here in Z, and Z by 2 and multiplied with I by R. So here we know that what is I? I is the importance factor 1.5, 1.2 and 1. Similarly, with respect to the factor value in which our structure is lying in that reference, we may have to calculate, we may have to consider the I value. Now we'll know that what is R. So here R is response reduction factor given in IS 1893 parts 1 to 5 for the corresponding structures. Right here in page number 20 we have R values, that is R is nothing but response reduction factor R for building systems. Again, we may have to know that before calculating in which type of frame system we are going to provide in a particular structure or to the calculating structure. So here moment frame system, braced frame system, we have different types of systems providing with the frames. Right here main important, we are going to provide moment frames. Moment frames for the particular systems are ordinary moment resisting frame and special moment resisting frame, and these two are the main important structures we are going to provide in our building. So that before calculating the total lateral force, we may have to decide which moment resisting frames we are going to provide in a structure, that is ordinary moment resisting frame or special moment resisting frame. If you are going to provide a ordinary moment resisting frame, in that case we have to consider the R value as 3 here, or else special moment resisting frame is considered. In that case we may have to provide 5, the R value as 5 here, so that R is nothing but the moment resisting frame, whether it is ordinary moment resisting frame or whether it is special moment resisting frame. Based on that, we may have to consider the recommended values in the code, that is 3 or 5, right? Other than this you don't get any values. Because your syllabus will be restricted to RC buildings itself. And again we have SA by G. The value of SA by G is given in page number 9 in IS code 1893 part 1 2016. Right here SA by G is a design acceleration coefficient for different soil types. That means whenever you are going to construct a structure, that structure is lying which type of soil, whether it is rock or hard rock soils, or whether it is medium or stiff, or whether it is soft soil. You may have to divide the foundation soil with 3 types, whether it is rock or medium or stiff soil or soft soils. Based on this, you may have to consider this SA by G value. Right, before going to know that this SA by G, we may have to consider the time period for the structure. Let us read this. Design acceleration coefficient for different soil types normalized with peak ground acceleration corresponding to natural period T for a structure. It shall be given as part 1 to 5 of IS 1893 for the corresponding structures when not specified. So here that means we have to consider the T value. T value in the sense T is here given with, please note down the page numbers. In page number 21, it is given with TA value, that is time period. So time period, before going to know that what is time, calculating time period, we should know that what is time period. Time period is here, so let us have an structure. Which is multi-storied. So here I will consider only 3-story. Let us have foundations. Right here, whenever your structure hits with a horizontal force, with earthquake forces, or that is considered to be earthquake forces, this force will create a particular effect into the structure, and this structure will tends to behave in this manner. Right? This is what we have already studied, that is inertia force. Right? And this inertia force will be transferred from base to the top of the structure again, and then from top to the structure it will get moved to the foundation. That means the force will get enter to the structure and it will hit up to the top, and again from the top it will travel with the members, with the structural members to the ground. Right here, when the force gets into the structure and after that force get into the earth, the time taken in this period, that is considered to be time period. That means the force which remains within the structure, it is considered to be time period, that is measured in seconds. That is again measured in seconds. That will be maximum up to 1, 2 or 3 seconds based on the force which is entering into the structure, and based on the structure with features. Based on that features, the time period will get vary here. Whenever the force hits to the structure, then that force will be remain into the structure, and then after that the force will get into the earth. This time is considered to be total time period. That is, time period is given to the moment resisting buildings. If you are considering moment resisting buildings without masonry infills, again we have the syllabus as without infill walls. Right here, without infill walls, we may have to consider, if you are RC moment resisting buildings, in that case you may have to consider 0.075. H is the total height of the building to the power 0.75 to calculate this time period. Right? And again, for similarly RC steel composite members and RC steel moment resisting buildings. But for your syllabus, you will be having only RC moment resisting buildings. You don't have steel structures here. We have to calculate only for RC frame. Right here, if your structure is having a walls, or if your structure is containing the walls, in that case you may have to consider this formula. But as your syllabus considered to be without infill walls. Right here, and again, other than these RC moment resisting buildings, you are providing with a simple building without considering the moment resisting frames. In that case, you may have to consider this TA is equal to 0.09 H under root D. Right here, H is the height of the building and D is the base dimension of the building at the plinth level along the considered direction. Considered direction in the sense which, say, let us have the plan right here, and this is X direction and this is Z direction. Y will be in this direction. This is Y and this is X and this is Z. If you are considering the forces in this Z direction, in that means you may have to consider this D. This is the structure dimension that is up to plinth level. In the case if you are considering the forces in this direction to the X, in that case you may have to consider this D distance as a D here.